I'm going to download Windows because I'm on Windows. The download should start immediately. Just save it into your downloads folder or wherever. This is just the setup, so it doesn't matter where you save it really. As soon as the download's finished, just click it and go through the installation process. Okay, once it's finished installing, you might want to open it up if it doesn't open up already and go through the auto configuration settings. These are the things that I clicked when going through the auto configuration settings. When it came to the streaming part, I just left it and clicked cancel because I'm not going to be going through streaming like Twitch gamer streaming and stuff like that. I'm not going to be going through that. So once OBS is open, you'll see, hopefully, exactly this. The very first thing I recommend you do is click Studio Mode in the bottom right. What this does is it shows you a preview of everything that you've got going on. And then on the right is the program window, which is the end result. It's what the viewer sees if you're using it as a webcam, or what you are actually recording if you're recording your screen or recording something. So right now we have nothing in either one. Before we put something in there, let's just make it a little bit bigger and let's just go through a few things that we see right in front of us. The very first thing I want to say is everything is clickable and draggable, and you can customize your OBS exactly how you want it. But if you accidentally, really mess it up and you have no idea how to get everything back, then you can actually go to View, Docs, and then Reset UI. So you reset the user interface back to the original settings. And to kind of stop yourself from messing it up again, go to View, Docs, and lock your UI. And now you can't drag anything around and it will always look like this. Okay, so bottom left, we have scenes. Then after that, we have sources. And then we have an audio mixer, and then scene transitions, and then some basic buttons, some of the main buttons for us. We have transitions up here, preview, program. Let's go through them a bit slower. Scenes. Imagine that you are a film director, okay, and you have several scenes that you want to go through. On these scenes, you need to put things, so you need to put objects in there. That's where sources comes in. So sources are the things that are in the scenes. On the bottom of scenes, you can see add scene, remove scene, move it up, move it down. Same for sources. You can add, remove, go to properties, move things up, move things down. So we'll make a scene and add some sources in just a second. The next thing is audio mixer. If you're just using OBS as a virtual webcam, then audio mixer. Everything. Then we have scene transitions. Now in studio mode, we have scene transitions here as well. So this is a little bit redundant. Unless you're not in studio mode, then it's pretty useful. So I usually remove this, but I'm just going to leave it there. In order to remove something, you just right click and then go to what you want to untick, and then it will disappear from the UI. But I'm just going to leave it here for the moment. And then we have the main things here: start streaming, start recording, studio mode, settings, and then exit. Let's set up our first scene. We already have a default scene here just called scene, and we could add a new one, or we could just use this one. Let's add a new one, and we'll call it, doesn't matter what you call it, by the way. Anything you rename here in OBS is just so you can identify it yourself later. So the names of things doesn't change anything. But I'm just going to call it live. And it's the scene that I'll use when I'm live on camera. I could move this up to the top by clicking the up arrow, or I could move it down. This just changes where it is. Doesn't change anything about the scene itself. It just changes its position here in this list. If I want to remove the other scene, I can just click it, and I could click remove here, or I could right click it and click remove here. You get a lot more options when you right click things. So I could duplicate it, I could copy all of the filters, which we'll talk about soon, and paste them over to another scene. But for now, let's just remove it using this button. Are you sure? Yes, it's gone. So we just have this one scene. Still, nothing's happening in preview or in program because we haven't put any sources in yet. So the first source I'm going to add is going to be my webcam. So I'm going to go to sources and click add. And then let's go to video capture device. That's if you want to add your webcam. And I'm just going to rename it so I know what it is in future. Then I can click OK. One of the things that immediately stands out to me is the fact that it's square. Why is it square? It's because I haven't set up the resolution. So my camera is 1080p. So if I click the drop down next to resolution FPS type and click custom, I can then click the resolution and I can choose 1920 by 1080, which is the resolution of my camera. And now you'll see that it fills up the area here. When it comes to FPS, my camera can go up to 60 FPS, but 60 FPS isn't really necessary and it's not really recommended.